I hope now it is clear to you how to change exclamatory sentences into declarative sentences. Now in this video I will teach you how to change declarative sentences into interrogative sentences and vice versa. So let's get started. Children, you have to be very alert for these type of sentences. There are two ways of changing sentences from declarative to interrogative. The first way is by changing the meaning of the sentences. This you have learnt when you were in class 4. And the second is without changing the meaning. Let's first look at this side. Changing the meaning of the sentences. You can see the example here. It is she is very kind. And you all are well aware that it is a declarative sentence. In class 4, we have taught you that when you have to change this type of sentences into interrogative sentences, you bring the verb in front of the subject, give a question mark at the end, and it becomes interrogative sentences. So, you will follow the same rule here. She is very kind. I bring my verb in front of the subject. It becomes, is she very kind? Next example. I am in class 5. What will I do? I'll bring the verb in front of subject. So it becomes, am I in class 5? Now look at here. Same sentence, she is very kind. Declarative sentence. Now here, when we have to change the sentence into interrogative without changing the meaning of the sentence, you have to follow steps here. First, what you will do, you will make this sentence into negative. So this becomes, she is not very kind. Now after making it negative sentence, change that negative sentence into interrogative sentence. So it will become, isn't she very kind? I hope it is clear. I will again show you one more example. I am in class 5. Fine. Now you have to change it into interrogative without changing the meaning. First rule, change this sentence into negative sentence. So what will be the negative sentence of I am in class 5? I am not in class 5. Now change this sentence into interrogative sentence. It will be, aren't I in class 5? Now you must be thinking why ma'am has not written am not in class 5. Children, we don't have contracted form of am not. Fine. That's why we will write aren't I in the sentence. Now look at these notes. Note number 1. In order not to change the meaning, use isn't, aren't, hasn't or won't. So when you will not change the meaning of the sentence, make sure your interrogative sentences starts with isn't, aren't, hasn't or won't. Next, in both cases the verb is used before the subject to change from declarative to interrogative. You can see here it's written is, am, isn't, aren't. So these all are verbs. I hope this is clear to you. Next, when a declarative sentence has two verbs, one main verb and one helping verb, it can be changed into an interrogative sentence by putting the subject between the two verbs. To make it more clear, let's look further. As I have taught you that there are two ways of changing the sentences. One while changing the meaning and the other without changing the meaning. Let's look at an example. She has finished her homework. Now here you can see there are two verbs, has, finished. Has is helping verb and finished is my main verb. Now what we have to do? We have to bring the subject between the two verbs to make it an interrogative sentences. As I told you that we bring the verb in front of the subject. The subject here is she. So has will come here in front of she, and finished will be after she. So my sentence will be, has she finished her homework? So helping verb comes in front of the subject and the main verb remains after the subject. Let's look at one more example. You are going to the fair. Now here where is my verb? Are going. Now are is my helping verb, going is my main verb. What will I do? I will put my subject you in between the two verbs, helping verb and the main verb. So my interrogative sentence will be, are you going to the fair? Now let's look at one more example. I will meet you at the mall. Now where are my verbs? Will, meet. Again the same rule, I'll bring my subject in between the verbs. So my interrogative sentence will be, will I meet you at the mall? Now let's look at the other side. Same sentence, she has finished her homework. As I taught you, when you don't have to change the meaning of the sentence, what you do, you make it negative first and then you change into interrogative. So she has finished her homework is a positive sentence. What will be my negative sentence? She has not finished her homework. Now if I have to make it interrogative, it will become, hasn't she finished her homework? So again you see, the subject is coming in between the two verbs. Let's look at one more example. You are going to the fair. Again, what will be my interrogative sentence? Aren't you going to the fair? Look here. Again, my subject is coming in between the two verbs. One more example. I will meet you at the mall. Where is my subject? I. Where are my verbs? Will meet. I'll bring my subject I in between the two verbs and my interrogative sentence will be, won't I meet you at the mall? Now won't is the contracted form of will not. So it is won't. So it is written as won't. Won't I meet you at the mall? Now let's look at the next slide. When a declarative sentence contains the adverb never, it becomes ever in the interrogative sentence. Let's look at an example. I never asked you to do it. Now where is my verb? Asked. Since my asked is in past tense, so my interrogative sentence will start with did, because I don't have any helping verb here. And as it is said, never will become what? Ever. Correct. So my answer will be, did I ever ask you to do it? Next. When a declarative sentence contains the adverb no, it becomes any in the interrogative sentence. Let's look at an example. There is no fun in doing that. So no will become what? Any. Now where is my verb? Is. So what will be my interrogative sentence? Is there any fun in doing that? So make sure children, whenever you have an adverb never, you'll make it ever in your sentence in declarative sentences. When there is no in declarative sentences, it will become any. Now let's look at the book exercise A, which is there in your book. I've just taken this screenshot of it. You all will do this exercise in your rough copies. Those who have their books, they will also do in their rough copies, and those who don't, they will also do in their rough copies. Now what you have to do here? Change the following declarative sentences into interrogative sentences. Is it mentioned here that you have to make sure that meaning of the sentence doesn't change? No. So you do as you know. You will bring the verb in front of the subject. Let's do the first sentence. Sheila is my best friend. Where is my verb? Is, and the subject is Sheila. So my verb will come in front of the subject. It will become Is Sheila my best friend? And you will end it with a question mark. Now rest of the sentences you will do on your own in your rough copies.